Hey guys, so the week you guys were supposed to come back from school, your spelling words were going to be homographs. Homographs are words that have one spelling, but they mean two different things. And the way, with homographs, the way you know what they mean is the way you say it. So if I were to say, I digest my dinner, and I put the emphasis on the second syllable, digest. If I put the emphasis on jest, then I mean to eat my food. But if I were to say, I read a digest yesterday, that's a magazine. And I put my emphasis on the first syllable, digest. Digest, the first syllable is digest. So when you're reading and you come to a word that is spelled exactly like another word, how do you know how to say it? How do you know which meaning it is? Well, you look at all the words around it. If it's talking about eating something, then you know to say it digest, a verb, something you do. I digest something. If you look around and it says that the kid was reading a digest, then you know it's a noun. It's a person, place, or thing. It's a thing, and it's a magazine. Now, we have done something before that I don't want you to be confused about. Sometimes we look at two different words that are spelled differently, but they sound alike. Those are called homophones. Flower and flower. They're spelled completely differently. And you know that this is flour, like the kind that you bake with. And this is flower, like grows in a field, a plant. Homophones, sounds alike. We can break these two words apart and figure out their meaning. This is the root word, graphs. Graphs is always something written. So in this case, it refers to spelling. And homo is a prefix to a word. It always means one spelling. Homophones, use a phone to talk, so you can remember that this root word, phones, means sounding alike. So homophones means the two words make one sound. So let's concentrate today on homographs. And let's play a game. And we'll use some of the words that were going to be our spelling words to play the game. So I am going to lift up a word, the one we just did, digest. I put a underline under the syllable that I am enunciating more clearly. I'm putting more emphasis on it. Digest. Digest. That means exact meaning is digest is a magazine with short stories. A magazine with short stories. Okay, good. Now let's play the game. Digest. Digest. This one, I'm putting the emphasis on the second syllable. Digest. Digest. That means a digest. Digest. That means to break down in the stomach or to eat something. Okay, now for the game, I'm going to say the word and then you are going to guess which meaning it is. Contract. Contract. Not contract. 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 Does that mean a binding agreement between two parties or to become infected with something like the flu? contract, contract. A or B? It's A. Contract is a binding agreement between two parties. To contract something is to become infected with, like the flu. If you got that right, yay! Next one. Subject or subject? Well, this one, the emphasis is on the second syllable. So, subject, subject, not subject, subject. The two choices you have are subject, subject. Subject, is it a word or group of words the sentence is about, or to bring under control? A or B? B, it's a verb. To subject someone, you subject them to bring them under control. A subject in a sentence is a word or group of words the sentence is about. Next one. Reject or reject. This one, emphasis is on the second syllable. Reject, not reject, reject. So does that mean to refuse to accept A, or B, a person or thing not wanted? Reject. Well, it's a verb. That means it's to do something. To reject something is A, to refuse to accept. I reject that. I refuse to accept it. A reject is a person or thing not wanted. That's a reject. Next one. Produce or produce? Produce or produce? This is produce, produce. So your two options are A, to make, produce, or B, fruits and vegetables, produce, 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 produce. If you said A, you are correct. It's a verb, to make something. Produce. I produce a cake in the kitchen. I produce it. I made it. Produce. When you go into the grocery store, there's the produce section. That's the fruits and vegetables. The emphasis on produce is in the first syllable. Produce. Next one. Present or present? Present or present? If the emphasis is on the second syllable, then this word is present. 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 So does that mean a gift, A, or B, to offer a show? Present. Present. If you chose B, you're correct. Present. Present. It's a verb. That means to do something, to offer a show. I had to present my essay to the class. Present. A present present is a gift. The last one we will do. Object. 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 The emphasis on the first part of the word. It's not object, it's object. So, is it A, something that can be touched, or B, to oppose something? Object. Object. If you chose A, something that can be touched, you're correct. Object. Object. To object is to oppose something in a court. If you don't like something that a lawyer says, you object. I object. That's not correct. So let's wrap up. When you're reading and you come to these two words that are spelled exactly alike and you don't know how to say it and you don't know what it means, you have to use context clues. You have to use all the words around it. If someone is in a book and it's a conversation and they say, "Can you bring that object over to me?" No, you read it wrong. "Can you bring that object over to me?" That's the correct way you read it. What if your book that you're reading, the setting is in a court and the lawyer stands up and he says, "I object." No, you read it incorrectly. He says, "I object." So that is homographs, and it means one spelling, but with two meanings.